A rental inspection program has been finding landlords for door paint and toilets that use too much water, and a prime example of why city rental inspection programs do not work. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's going over the topic of rental inspection programs. Now, obviously, I am not a fan. I don't believe in them. I don't believe that they actually catch the bad guys who are, the very, very small percentage of landlords, less than 1%, who are doing things that aren't up to snuff, okay? And instead, what they do is they get the good landlords, the ones who are doing everything right, who are fixing things and, doing an overall good job, treating their tenants with respect, and they get them caught up in fines and, punished because, hey, everything isn't absolutely perfect. And this article I have today is a prime example of that. And I'm glad I found it because, I've been saying this stuff for quite a while in several of my videos. And, I wanted it to, it's just using it as an example, for subjects I create out of the top of my head. This is a real example right here. And, this is proof positive that, hey, these programs, they're a waste of time. They're just a bunch of bureaucracy. They're a money grab from landlords. And the only thing they're really going to do is make rental housing more expensive for tenants, okay? And make it a lot harder for us as landlords to run our businesses. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, okay? What do you think of city rental inspection programs? Do you believe that they actually help to catch, these bad, horrible violations? Or do you think they're just a bunch of garbage, okay? I went from, living in a place where they didn't have a rental inspection program to now they have a kind of quasi rental inspection program. And, none of my properties have been inspected, fortunately, yet. But, it could happen any day where the city just comes up and says, hey, it's your turn. Now we're going to inspect you. They're going to find a whole bunch of ridiculous little itty bitty things when my properties are generally in very, very good shape and, just waste my time and my money. And what am I supposed to do? Anyway, this article is coming from Gainesville.com, and it says, Gainesville's rental inspections going well beyond the stated intent of the program. Let's get into it. A City of Gainesville program that was designed to inspect rental properties for safety and energy efficiency standards has been citing landlords for many ornamental details like door paint and landscaping, inspection records show. Landlords are so unhappy they have hired a lawyer to sue the city. Good on them, okay? Honestly, this is the only way you can stop this sort of nonsense is by, hey, hit their pocketbooks, okay? Hit the city's pocketbooks. You're up here telling me, oh, this is all about safety, and, you're thinking it's something like, hey, this is a serious fire hazard, or, this isn't safe, we have a no carbon monoxide. No, it isn't nothing like that. They're going up there and they're like, oh, you got too many weeds in your landscaping. Oh, the paint on your door, it's peeling, and therefore, here's a violation. This is what cities do. This is what bureaucracy does, okay? Especially when you have bureaucrats who are hired specifically to inspect properties, and, most properties are in good shape, so they have to, find work for themselves to do, okay? And that's what they're doing. They're finding little nitpicky things. It's kind of like when you create a position in your city, like as not a police officer, but a parking control officer. Well, that person's going to go out and find every little parking violation they possibly can find so that they can justify their existence. Meanwhile, the person who parked just a little bit on top of the line, just for one time, now they're getting a citation. 99% of the time they're parking absolutely perfect, but just one time they get caught up in the mess. Well, that's the same thing that's happening to landlords with these building inspectors, okay? The more than 500 inspections that have occurred since October 1st include a mixed bag of violations. Some have been potential life safety violations, such as no working fire alarms and hazardous wiring. But many of the violations are not life-threatening, such as toilets and shower heads that the city contends use too much water. Gainesville landlords and property managers are complaining that the violations go well beyond the stated intent of the program to ensure that units are energy efficient and safe. So now, they're not even looking for safety stuff anymore. They're looking, we got to make sure that everything is energy efficient. Oh, nope. With the Green New Deal, we got to make sure that we don't use too much water. Oh, no, nah, yeah, this appliance over here uses too much power. You have to replace it. What the heck is going on, okay? Now, this is absolutely ridiculous, and this city deserves to be sued, and I'm glad these landlords stepped forward to take care of this garbage. They have hired local attorney Jeff Childers, who said he's preparing a class action lawsuit that will be filed against the city on the grounds that the inspections are infringing upon property owners' rights. The city has fallen in love with mandates, said Childers, who successfully won a legal challenge against the city of Gainesville for its mandated COVID-19 shots for employees. Childers said inspectors in the rental inspection program, who were previously University of Florida students working under a consulting firm in South Florida, have been randomly naming violations of the rental unit inspection law. Yeah, instead of hiring building inspectors who are, people who maybe worked in housing inspections, like home inspectors, etc. before, who know properties, who know the rules, and know housing and know how things are done, they hired a bunch of college kids, okay? Idealistic college kids pushing their, far left-leaning progressive agenda and on top of property owners, okay? Once again, this is why I say, man, these left-leaning people here, they don't know anything about business. They don't know anything about the way things are done. And instead, they're pushing their agenda upon us. This is why I get so upset, okay? And it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think it's going to fly. We will be challenging it, Childers said. Childers said the city's program is a form of regulatory taking without due process. You are never provided due process over this on an individual basis, he said. When inspectors go in and require a landlord to pay $6,000 in improvements, what is the venue for a due process appeal? He said another constitutional argument is whether the inspectors have a right to enter homes without the tenant's approval. I mean, they have a right to privacy, he said. And that argument there is exactly what happened here in Omaha with their, rental inspection program that they put in place, okay? The landlords here actually won that case, and it was decided that, hey, you don't have to allow them in without a search warrant, okay? And the same with your tenants. They don't have to allow them into your property without a search warrant. Okay, just because they're building inspectors doesn't mean they get to circumvent the law. Okay, they're acting on behalf of the government, and as a government body, they need a search warrant in order to enter that property. So yeah, you just tell them, if they call you up here, it is 100% legal according to the case that we went through to say, no, I do not allow you into my property without a search warrant, and then they can do nothing. Okay, that's part of the reason the whole building inspection program here collapsed. And I think it is an excellent argument, and hopefully, they use it in Gainesville successfully as well. Landlords say the inspections in some cases have cost the homeowners thousands of dollars, which are being passed on to tenants in the form of higher rent. They also said, and the code enforcement investigation reports hear it out, that inspectors have been ordering landlords to take action to improve aesthetic appearances of the rental units. So far, no property owners have been fined for violating the city's law, but some cases where the homeowners did not get a rental permit have been forwarded to a special magistrate, said Andrew Persons, director of the Department of Sustainable Development for Gainesville. So yeah, aesthetic issues. Can you believe that? Okay, so hey, your property isn't pretty. Okay, here's a big surprise for these building inspectors. A lot of rental properties are ugly. Okay, this is the nature of rental property business. Okay, a lot of our properties aren't ugly. They meet. Like they're clean, they're functional, etc. Right, but they are not the prime properties in the city in a lot of cases. Okay, this is just the truth. I admit that I own some ugly properties. Now, they are well maintained, the tenants are satisfied there, but they are not pretty, like, oh, look at this beautiful landscaping. No, it's just bare bones minimum, okay? So, white paint or white siding on the house. The grass is mowed, but there's no landscaping or anything. The houses are older. Several of my homes were built pre 1920, so they're older, like craftsman style, etc. So these are not, and they have weird layouts too, because they have additions put onto them, and then you go in the house and some stuff is dated, some stuff has been updated. They're just not pretty homes like you would see if it was new construction. But this is the nature of the rental property business, and this is what a lot of landlords deal with. So the city cracking down on that is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I am glad to hear that these landlords are suing the city of Gainesville, and I hope they win. Okay, I hope they destroy them and this stupid law gets thrown out.